Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Nick Kelby, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be talking about All Stars 11. And I know, we just got done with All Stars 10, and the wounds of that season are still fresh. But I think this is a good opportunity to look back at the season, give some perspective, and see what the show can learn going forward. Plus, I want to make some predictions for All Stars 11, and I almost had the entire season spoiled for me on both YouTube and Twitter recently. So if I don't make this video now, I'm never going to get a chance. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. So let's start by talking about All Stars 10 and what it got right and what it got wrong. I think most of us can agree that brackets 1 and 2 got the formula down. And quite frankly, these two brackets sold me on this new version of All Stars completely. I mean, bracket 1 brought the talent, they had great chemistry, great lip syncs, a sprinkle of drama in there, although nothing compared to bracket 2. And overall, it was just a very entertaining bracket, and the judging seemed pretty fair overall. And I'm just gonna say, I think bracket 2 had some of the best drama we've seen in All Stars history, and was by far the most chaotic and entertaining bracket, in my eyes at least. I mean, you guys have to remember, after these two first brackets, we were talking about this being the best All-Stars since All-Stars 6 or even All-Stars 2. Like, it was up there. But, as we all know, the story takes a dark turn with bracket 3. I'll keep it brief because at this point, I think we all know that bracket 3 was terrible because of the riggery towards Ginger, but besides that, there just wasn't the same chemistry with this bracket. And I think a big part of that is because there weren't as many pre-established storylines with this bracket. And I fear that's going to be a problem for All-Stars 11 as well, but we'll get to that. First off, let's just take a look at the broadcast for All Stars 11. Now, here's your spoiler warning if you don't want the cast to be spoiled at all. And I just want to make it clear, I don't know any spoilers for the season itself, no lip sync wins, no challenge wins, don't know who makes it on, I only know the cast and what bracket they're in. But still, I want to give a spoiler warning before I reveal the cast, just in case you care. But here's that warning now. All right, here's the cast. And coming up first in bracket 1 in the Tournament of All Stars, we have Aquarius Chanel Davenport, Dawn, Lucky Stars, Morgan McMichaels, Morphine Love Dion, and Mystique Summers Madison. In bracket 2, we have April Carry On, Aura Mayari, Crystal Method, Selena Estides, Silky Nutmeg Ganache, and Vivacious. Rounding off the Tournament of All Stars in bracket 3, we have Hershey LaCour Jete, Jasmine Kennedy, Joey J, Kennedy Davenport, Sam Starr, and Sugarcane. So as you can see, it's a pretty interesting cast. So let's dissect and make some predictions based on what All Stars 10 was giving. My early predictions for the season as a whole is that bracket 1 is going to be the bracket 2 of All Stars 11. You know what I mean? Like bracket 2 of All Stars 10 is going to be the bracket 1. I'm getting myself confused. Game math is hard. Oh my god. Bracket 1 of All Stars 11 will be the bracket 2 of All Stars 10. There we go. Brackets 2 and 3 are scaring me because it might be giving All Stars 10 bracket 3 vibes due to the obvious tops in those two brackets and the lack of pre-established storylines. And I just want to make this point now. The reason I say that pre-established storylines are important is because they only get 3 episodes per bracket. So it doesn't give much time to set up new storylines. I mean, obviously new storylines are gonna form. Having that base to build off of is really helpful. For example, in bracket 2 of All Stars 10, you had Mistress, Carrie, and Georges all being from Texas, all being friends already. Mistress and Tina had some off-show beef before the season. Lydia had her own storyline of just being from season 17 and coming immediately into All Stars, and no one knowing her until filming All Stars 10 besides Mistress, who saw her in the roast. And then Nicole just being a wild card and has the automatic storyline of being from season 2, so how are the early out queens gonna fare? And on top of that, she's from the same drag family as Mistress and is great TV in general. So you see what I mean? It's just a lot going on even before the bracket even starts, which allowed further chaos to unfold as the 3 episodes played out. Okay, so let's make some predictions for who's gonna make it through each bracket and go through each queen and see what I think they're gonna give. Okay, so out of bracket 1, my picks would be Morphine, Morgan, and Akira to make it through. I mean, Dawn is talented, but I just fear she's gonna be overlooked. Same thing with Lucky. Lucky's an amazing artist, and I think her runways are gonna catch a lot of people's attention. But I don't think the producers see her as a real competition for the other powerhouses in this bracket, and they probably won't focus on her, if I'm being honest. But if they do, that'd be amazing. She could be the Irene, like I could completely be wrong here, and I kind of hope I am. Mystique, I have no idea what to expect from. I know she got into a fight with Morgan in season 2 that almost got physical, and that sets that storyline up. Besides that, I don't know what to expect from her. Like, I don't know how her drag has evolved, and I'm excited to see what she's got. I think Morphine is going to be the lip sync assassin. She's going to give us some iconic performances, and I think she will come in and do better in the challenges overall, such as like comedy and whatnot. So I think Morphine is definitely one to watch out for. Morgan, I think, will finally get her time to shine on Drag Race. I mean, she's an icon outside of Drag Race and in Drag Race, but I think this is her moment to really shine on the show, and I think everything's gonna finally come together for her, and I think she's a potential threat for the crown if it weren't for 2 other people. And Akira is probably gonna be a runway assassin. I always love her for runways. I'm not even sure if a runway assassin is a thing, but that's what I'm calling her. And I think she'll have a much better time here than in All-Star 6. At least I hope she does. She deserves all her flowers. So yeah, overall, I think bracket 1 is going to be very entertaining. There's probably going to bring some drama. There's a lot of pre-established storylines. We have Morgan and Mystique, Morphine and Lucky who know each other, Morphine and Donna from the same season, Akira having her redemption. Like, I'm really excited for this bracket, and it's by far the bracket I'm most hyped for. Okay, moving on to bracket 2. I think who's going to come out of this bracket is most likely going to be Crystal, Silky, and I'm going to say Selena has titties. Really, I think Crystal and Silky are for sure making it through, and then that third spot is up for grabs, but I don't know. I just feel like Selena's gonna have her moment. April and Vivacious are kind of in the same boat for me as Mystique in bracket 1, just because I don't really know what to expect from them. They haven't been on the show in a while, and they're not really part of the Drag Race sphere as much as some other queens on this list, so they could completely come and surprise me, and that would be iconic. But having seen how they treat older season queens on All Stars 10, I have literally zero faith. I mean, Acid Betty, Nicole Paige Brooks, Phoenix, like barely anyone from an older season excelled, except for like maybe Aja, but she's from season 9 and All Stars 3, like that's not even that long ago. So unfortunately, unless you are from a recent season or have a lot of fan support, I just don't see production pushing them, which is really unfortunate. The biggest problem I see with this bracket is Silky Nutmeg Ganache being there. I mean, Silky is in a similar situation to Ginger was. She's already been a finalist twice, once on season 11 and another time on Canada vs. the World. And she already had her character redeeming moment in All-Star 6, so there's nothing left for her to really do but win. And there's no point in her coming back if she's not at least gonna make it to the end. So it's like, what's the point if she's not gonna at least make it to that top 2? I think Crystal is probably gonna do very well and she will likely be a fan favorite, but I just don't see them giving the crown to Crystal, unfortunately. She will likely have the same journey as Georges. Like, she'll have the fan support, but get pushed to the side at the very end for either Silky or Kennedy. That's my prediction. Bracket 1 is probably going to start off really strong, and then I think bracket 2 is where we might take a nosedive, unfortunately. And once again, I'm not seeing any obvious connections between these queens, if I'm being honest. I mean, does anyone else see like any pre-established storyline connections here? Because I honestly don't. Do any of these queens know each other besides maybe April and Vivacious? I mean, they're both from the same season, but I have no idea if they're close. So yeah, red flags flying from this bracket. Bracket 3, I think the people that are going to make it through are obviously Jasmine, Kennedy, and Sam. I think this bracket has the most obvious top 3 out of all the brackets, and Kennedy might even be worse than Silky in terms of the ginger problem. I know I said Silky will be a favorite, but I think Kennedy will be even more favored and will likely be the winner of this season. Kennedy is likely going to be insanely favored in the same way Ginger was. I mean, like Silky, like Ginger, the only thing left for her to do is win. She's been a finalist multiple times, etc., etc. So the only storyline for her is to win. And that's where I fear we're going to have this problem with every All-Star scene going forward, because to fill out an 18 queen bracket, you're going to have to bring back some legends, people to get back excited, but those people aren't going to come back unless they have a really good chance at winning. So it just gives a really weird imbalance to these seasons, but I digress. I would really love for Hershey to excel. She didn't get a lot of moments to shine on season 16, even though I think she's really talented. So even if she doesn't advance, I want her to have some shiny moments. And same thing for Sugarcane and Joey J. Even though I don't think production is going to care about them at all, I still hope they get moments to shine and like at least something. Jasmine will probably be the Bosco of the season. I think she's going to shine. I think her drab level up will be very evident, but I think she's going to get edged out by Silky and Kennedy in the end. She's going to be the Bosco of the season. I'm calling it now. In terms of Sam Star, Sam is literally just built for Drag Race. I don't see a world where Sam doesn't advance. And to be honest, I think Sam might even make it to the top 4, but I just don't see her winning. I think it's for sure either going to be Silky or Kennedy. So now that we've gone over the cast and I made my predictions, I just want to end the video with what I hope All Stars 11 can improve upon. Even if I don't think they will, I don't trust the producers at all with All Star seasons, but one can hope. So let's be positive and end this on a positive note. My main hope for this season is that production doesn't intervene too much. I mean, they got reality TV gold in All Stars 10 with brackets 1 and 2, and those were pretty fair brackets in terms of judging, with a little meddling. I mean, the Georges and Mistress half-point thing was kind of sus, but besides that, it was pretty great. And I just hope they let whoever deserves to win, win. What production doesn't realize is that, yes, we have our favorites going into the season, but that doesn't mean we want it to be rigged for them. I mean, going into All-Stars 10, I think most of us like Ginger. Doesn't mean we want to see an entire season made for Ginger. Similar to Jimbo, we all love Jimbo, but we don't want an entire season favored for one queen, like no matter who it is. All Stars is all about second chances, and we want to see people who failed the first time succeed, not just people come back again who have done it 3 times and done well every time and are just gonna do it well a 4th time. Like, that's not entertaining. But if the judging is fair, it will make for a more unpredictable season. I do think the format works, but they need to be consistent. One bad bracket can kill an entire season, like we saw with All Stars 10. And to be honest, I fear brackets 2 and 3 might be that hurdle for All Stars 11. Like going into All Stars 10, I was really excited about brackets 1 and 2, and those ended up being the good brackets. All Stars 11, I'm really only excited for bracket 1, so I'm scared, but we'll see. And it's not even because of the queens that I'm scared, it's because of production. I do not trust them, especially with All-Star seasons. They just seem to make every wrong decision. I will say, I wish the merge was longer, like after the brackets. It would work better in a longer season, like a 16 episode season, but I mean, the Snatch Game, Talent Show, and Lollapalooza are a good way to wrap things up and put a bow on the season, but they just need to bring the returning queen back on episode 10 instead of 12 for the finale. That made no sense. Like, whoever it was, Mistress, Carrie, Denali even, whoever, they were not going to win that crown. Let's be real. Also, get rid of the Rated Queen and just let them pick their opponent or song. Rated Queen is fake, and the rankings made no sense because of it, so just get rid of Rated Queen, and we'll be all good. I just want to point out again that you have to remember, All-Stars 10 was primed to be one of the best All-Star seasons of all time. They had me in the first half, but it got so much worse than I ever imagined. Like, we went from All-Stars 2 level quality to global all-stars. Like, how does that even happen? And now pretty much the entire fan base is pissed and no one's excited. Like, everything I see on Drag Race Twitter or discourse in general is pretty negative at this point. So yeah, I'm kind of scared for the future of the franchise. I'm not gonna front. I don't think it's gonna get canceled or like people are gonna stop watching. It's just like the quality is what I'm concerned about. This is my favorite show at the end of the day, and I want All Stars to be great. I want it to continue, but it's just been losing steam for years now. All Stars 8, All Stars 9, and now the second half, really, of All Stars 10 were all like some of the worst seasons in the whole franchise, in my opinion. And at this point, either All Stars 11 or All Winners 2 is just gonna have to be the home run that this franchise needs. A sports reference. Whether or not it will be, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Unless you're like me and the season's probably gonna be spoiled for you in 2 days. All right, and that's it for today's video. If you made it this far, first of all, you're a real one, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe down below. That would help me out a lot. And for all my fellow gays, which is probably most of you, if you're a reader, check out this new book written by a good friend of mine. It's called HAVA'S Way, The Island. It's actually really dope, and I'm not even a big reader, but I genuinely loved it. So if you're into action, fantasy, sex, and drama, check it out on Amazon. Just search for HAVA'S Way on Kindle or Amazon and get a copy for yourself. And I'll put the link in the description down below, so check that out. Stay tuned for my next video where I'll be taking a look back at season 17 and re-reviewing it now that time has passed. And we can see how I really feel about the season now that the dust has settled. So we'll see how it holds up. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.